Welcome back, and it's time for Monday Morning Quarterback, our weekly chat with ABC 36 Sports Director Jeff Piecoro. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Well, good morning, Lee. Happy Monday to everybody.
Happy Monday to you. All right, let's talk about this Missouri game. First of all, there's not a Kentucky fan with a bit of age on them that doesn't have empathy for the Missouri fan base right now, because that's the way we used to lose ball games.
You're exactly right. You know what? I was just telling your producer stuff. A win is a win, right? It doesn't matter. You're bowl eligible now. That's all that matters.
And look at the positives, though. I mean, we've been talking about the heralded freshman Dane Key. My goodness, he had a great game.
Well, he did. Several freshmen, actually. Several youngsters did. But Dane's going to be a special player here. I mean, he's got really good size. He runs good routes. He's got great hands. Made a big, touchdown catches. And I mean, the kid's just a great player. And a lot of youngsters really stepped up in this game. Trevin Wallace, making his first start ever, was all over the field. He was our defensive player of the game. So the youngsters are starting to step up.
When you think about this game in particular, and I'm look at the special teams in a minute, but Missouri was a team that was somewhat on the rise. So to have a close game with these guys, I don't think says that much about the inabilities of the Wildcats.
Well, I think what you have to look at is this. You're coming off a horrible loss at Tennessee, right, where you just couldn't do anything right. And you come out and you go right down the field against this team and score. Then you hold them and you go right down the field again, and it looks like, okay, they came out ready to play. Then, of course, yes, they missed a couple field goals, stuff which could have made this a much easier game. But, like you said, this was a team in Missouri that had won 3 in a row and had beaten South Carolina, who beat Kentucky. Right. So it's a big win for them.
But let's talk about special teams for a moment. First of all, explain to the fan base, Jeff, why we don't have a special teams coach, what part that plays in this, and why do we keep having calamity after calamity? And some of it's just missed field goals, I get it. But, you know, we saw the missed snap or the overshot the long snapper for the punter, and that avoided a disaster thanks to the penalty. What's going on there?
Well, coaches thought that, that all the coaches can kind of join in and be a special teams coach instead of having one. And I think they're going to have to bite the bullet and pay somebody to be a special teams coach and bring somebody in here that's what they do, because this has become a disaster week after week. I mean, this isn't just a once, we've seen this every single game. Missed field goals, block extra point, bad snaps time after time. That cannot happen to a championship caliber team.
Well, and again, we go back to Ole Miss, and those field goals we missed, that was due to special teams that we end up losing the game. If you're a fan, Jeff, I mean, you got to be asking yourself, why can't we have someone at the helm for that particular discipline? Because it looks rudderless a lot of times, and it's the worst part of the Kentucky experience.
Lee, I agree. I agree 100%. And I think that, the callers call in and tell Coach that. He has to understand it, obviously. But, yes, we had a special teams coach when I played. There's always been a special teams coach, but he doesn't have one specific guy. And I really think that it would help if you had one, obviously.
Well, I mean, for anything, for Coach Stoops' sake, at least he'd have somebody to blame. If this stuff is happening, who's he yelling at right now? I don't get it. It's frustrating. All right, so we got Vanderbilt coming up, another important game and one that they can't overlook.
Well, yes. You have 3 games left, and if you can win 2 of those 3, you've got a really good shot at getting to Florida, and that is what this team is now. That's the goal. That's the carrot at the end. You can't overlook anybody the way this team has played, and with all the injuries they have, right? I mean, Will Levis is to the point where they won't let him run because he's just so banged up, and I don't think the fan base really understands how banged up he is. But he's hurting right now, and that's why that he's not running. So they have to go out there and play just like they're playing Alabama every game. They cannot overlook anybody. You're exactly right.
That's ABC 36 News Director Jeff Piecoro. Jeff, thank you, buddy. We appreciate it.